Hi guys, welcome back to Mummy Cooks Homemade. My name's Hayley for anyone that's not aware, and this is the video where I drop my parsley on my tea. So this is cheesy scalloped potatoes with sausages, and it's an all-in-one casserole. No messing about. So we're going to chuck some oil in the pan. Whichever oil you use is fine. And I've got some small sliced chantenay carrots and an onion. Right, we are currently decorating. Please excuse anything that you see laying about. Just thought I'd get that out of the way, like, you know. And glossing, oh man, glossing. The stench. It's awful, isn't it? Anyway, back to the food. So you're just going to cook these off for about 5 minutes. At this point, I've got it on a medium heat. This is about 5 minutes later. Now I'm adding 500 grams of just pulled apart mushrooms. I didn't chop them, I just pulled them apart. And I'm going to go another 5 minutes. From this point on, whatever vegetables you want to throw in, just throw in. By all means, if you want to add more vegetables into this. I cook it in this pan the whole way through. This is a one pot deal. I love this pan. This pan has come back up spotless. That's why I like it. So I've chucked in some sausages. We like these, for the casseroles, we like these bratwurst. And there's some kale gone in there as well. So we did have a large bag of it from Lidl. And it was bought 2 days ago. And that's all I could use out of it. The rest of it was disgusting. So not happy with that. No wonder it was as cheap as it was. So again, we've got medium heat going on here. This is on my large ring on the gas cooker. Now I'm just going to snip in. This is thick cut. I'm not going to snip it, I'm going to cut it, look, for a change. This is thick cut smoked bacon, and all I'm using is 2 rashers. You do not need to cook it off at the beginning with sausages before you start with everything else, because this is going to cook for a while. So I wouldn't worry about it. If your pan's not great non-stick, just add bits of water in and whatnot to the bottom of the pan just to pull anything up. So this is 800 mils of beef consomme. I use beef consomme powder, and I only used 3/4 of a teaspoon. If you want to use a stock cube, try using a low sodium one because of the bacon. That's what I've used, and I get mine on Amazon. So at this point I'm just going to add in some pepper and a touch of sea salt, and there was literally a touch of sea salt. Now I've had this smoked bacon before, and I know it's not over salty, so that's why I added a touch in there. Now I'm going to put the lid on. And I'm going to let that go for about 20 minutes. So this is cornstarch slurry, corn flour, and I used 2 heaped teaspoons in a touch of water. It doesn't immediately look really thick, but trust the process, it will thicken up. This is your scallop potatoes. I've left the skin on, washed them and left the skin on. There was no need for me to remove the skin. I've used my mandolin and just sliced them on the thin setting. You can see how thin they are. Quite oftentimes I can't be bothered to get that out, and I do slice them myself, so you don't have to have a mandolin, but they do come in handy, especially for speed. So I'm going to work my way around the pan, making sure I cover it. And after each layer, I'm going to season it. I think I did 3 layers. I think. So yeah, here I go, a bit of seasoning. Don't go mad with the seasoning, just season your potatoes. You can see I've not gone mad with it. And then I go back in with another layer. So you want it overlapping the ones that are underneath. And you might think to yourself, there's no way all 3 layers are going to cook. They do cook. They do cook because they're so thin. And it's really good as well using potatoes like this, because you don't actually use many potatoes because you can get so many slices out of them. So as you can see, there's not a lot of effort that goes into this. Again, season that layer. The starch from these potatoes are also going to thicken up that sauce underneath. So remember that, don't add too much cornstarch because there's starch in these potatoes, and that helps to thicken it. So once I've got all the potatoes placed, what I'm going to do is pop the lid on, but just leave it with a little tiny bit of a gap. You'll see when I pop the lid on. I'm going to turn it down to the lowest setting on my hob and let that go for about 20 minutes. And that on its own should more or less cook these potatoes through. Oh, gone for another layer, look. You can keep going with this layering up. Again, me putting this, I'll show you how thin they are, look. Again, this layering process, you can see it doesn't take long. I'm not spending hours doing this. So that was the last layer. Again, I'm going to go with the seasoning. I'm just trying to use up whatever little bits I've got in that pot. Season it. Turn it down to the lowest. Pop the lid on most of the way. I do alter that lid, by the way. Doing it on most of the way, and as you can see, look, the potatoes are cooked through, all of them. So I'm turning the hob off. And I'm going to chuck a load of cheese on top. So you should have your oven preheated now at gas max 6. And once you put your cheese on top and your parsley, I'm laughing because I had the wrong side opened on my parsley and dumped a load on. You'll see. Didn't do any damage to the taste, but still, it was funny. But there you go. Never mind, it didn't hurt now. So, gas mark 6 into the oven, and I put it on for a timer of 30 minutes. You want it crispy. And that was how crispy look at that parsley. It come out, that's how crispy it came out. And the sauce thickened up really, really nicely. So this was a really, really easy and very frugal one pot casserole. You can see the crisp on the potatoes at the top. And they are cooked underneath. And you can see how thick the sauce is. I'm not much of a one for plating up. I just tend to throw it on the plate personally. Unless I've got company, obviously. Mind you, now I still chuck it on the plate. That was my one pot cheesy scallop potatoes and sausage. Hope you found this recipe to be a good recipe, one that maybe you'll use. Like I say, it was super frugal, super easy, and very tasty. And I'll put the recipe in the description below. Thanks so much for watching, guys. Thank you to the new members and the old members, new and old subscribers. Don't forget to leave me a comment, like, comment and subscribe. Bye.